Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Foundry Reviews. Today we're checking out Agatha All Along, Episode 4, If I Can't Reach You, Let My Song Teach You. Another fucking banger, you guys. Here with Slykiko and Kryptonic Kin. How are we doing today, you guys?
Spectacular.
Doing great. Yeah, I'm ready. This was an interesting episode.
It was, dude. This show is steady. I admire that.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm like actually feeling attached to these characters. Like I'm feeling things for like what's going on, which is weird because
These new emotions.
we're only 4 episodes in, and it's a Marvel show. Like, what is this?
Yeah, it's actually still good, and we're looking forward to it, and we like the characters. We know the direction it's going. We know kind of what to expect in the future as well. You know, I'm a big fan of it. I am actually a big fan of it so far. I'm really big.
Likewise.
Rio was really good. We had a big old premiere of her joining the witches, so I guess she's officially in the coven, maybe?
Hell yeah. I guess that might have been the only thing I was a little shaky on about the episode. Like we said before, they're making up the rules about the road, but it's whatever.
I mean, it's witch shit. So
I'm like, I'm not gonna lose. Like, how does it lose sleep over that? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I liked it. It was a little weird though when she joined. I was like, I couldn't tell if it was because they were summoning her or she just like showed up, because it didn't quite. It was a little weird because she also like formed from like it looked like a dead body.
Our friend's grave, right?
Yeah, Sharon.
What it
Yeah,
was?
Sharon's grave. Yeah, she popped out of Sharon's grave because everyone thought that it was a zombie version of Sharon or Miss Hart. And everyone was like,
I feel like
"Oh
that
shit!"
tracks though for like a green witch, because I would assume rising from the earth. Hey, there's a dead body. Cool, it brought life. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Some witchy shit. She's like has some spooky dark intentions. I've got like one complaint that I thought was like kind of cheese is when they're in the sound booth little room.
Oh.
And she's like presses the button. I'm like, come on, dude. I'm like, this is
it felt a little funny.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, like
I know what you're doing.
Yeah, they bring one of the original Marvel like show writers in for this episode just for that. So, like, it was.
I know what kind of man you are.
Yeah, it wasn't very great. Teen is probably the weakest thing of the entire show.
Yeah, hands down.
He exists. I think the problem is we don't get enough of his like character yet, and I mean that's partially on purpose. He's supposed to be a bit of an enigma, like we don't know much about him on purpose, but that also makes it hard to like want to know more. Like it's hard to like latch onto him as a character because we can't know more.
Agreed,
so, like,
but at the
all
same
other
time, like,
characters have a bit
is that urge, itching in any of us that like, oh my god, like I really need to know like what's going on with him? Like, I don't think there's enough enigma around the teen.
Yeah, it's hard to say because I want to know more, because I want to know why he can't say his name and shit.
Agreed.
Like that. That part I want to know. Like his motivations, I guess, as part of that, I kind of want to know, but it's more of an outside perspective. I want to know about him rather than get to know him, like what his desires are, because like he hasn't expressed a whole lot of that besides wanting to go on the road and wanting power.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess no one else has, but his is, I guess, a bit of a weird spot for sure.
Agreed. I think we know a lot more about the rest of the crew for the most part, with the exception of oh shoot, what was her name? Blood Witch's daughter. We were just talking Alice.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think
but
she's also the least fleshed out character so far, but it's a work in progress. But the teen, they're really, really taking their sweet time with that one.
Yeah, they did mention the sigil on this episode, and they did mention like a lot of other characters. Like this episode was very eggshelly with him, where Agatha was extremely overprotective, but at the same time she was just like, I kind of don't care, but I'm only acting like I don't care just to show the other characters that I have no interest in them.
Right.
When like it's very see-through and it's not as subtle, and like for a good point too, because they're like, hey, she's doing some bad acting because she actually deeply cares, because she thinks that
He's a kid.
Yep. Which is so weird. It's like, didn't you sacrifice your child like hundreds of years ago? But I don't know.
I mean, we're talking about witch magic shit. Like,
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Stopped his growth, stunted his growth. He wasn't drinking enough milk. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either how he just happened to show up at that time, but very weird. Even though we had the like super serious conversation with Rio and Agatha at the very end, where you thought that they were gonna have some kind of little reunion, and it did not go the way that we thought it would. Rio just kind of like was like, "That's not your son," and Agatha was like, "We'll see."
A woman can dream kind of thing. Yeah.
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 Even
Weird vibe between them.
Even at the point where Teen was recovering and he woke up and he was asking, he's like, "What happened to your son?" So that kind of put some doubt in my mind too, because he's like, not even he thinks that he's like the son of Agatha.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. Like no one thinks that except for her. She's fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
Like this actually.
And plus, the Potion Master was the one that threw that into his mind. Remember, she was the one that's like, rumor has it she sacrificed her child, and the child probably wouldn't even recognize her. Blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, like you're kind of feeding into that little like chaos within the group, but at the same time, he's not really, yeah, you're right. He's not fully leaning into it.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. They're definitely setting up some seeds and stuff like that with the son. I can definitely tell like that's gonna be like the best overarching kind of thing going on there. And she's like very like that's the only thing that's phasing her. Is like yeah, she desperately wants her powers, but she desperately like wants to fix the mistake that she obviously had quite some time ago with her own child. That's the vibe that it seemed like that they're putting down there.
It's that, and then also just her reactions whenever she's around Rio. And it's so funny to see because Rio was probably the most calm during that entire situation at the recording studio.
Yeah.
Where she's just sitting there on the couch and she's like, "Oh, you're burning." Like,
she's like that chaotic neutral. Like,
I kind of like it.
Like, oh shit, we better do something. Like,
oh no, one of us might die.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
She was kind of enjoying it. She definitely was.
Yeah, she likes the chaos for sure.
Yeah, I'm into it.
But I really like the new aesthetic. I like that we're getting like different like eras. I guess we're kind of getting Wanda still.
It's different
like,
themes,
shit, like different themes, different time periods. Like now we're getting some like psychedelic, like
honestly
school.
That's what we should have fucking gotten for Doctor Strange 2 as well.
100%. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Someone had to say it.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been quite good there.
Missed opportunity.
At least they're doing it in this, so I'm glad. Like I liked it. They're out. Their costume changes were cool. Like I'm digging the whole thing. The just the whole vibe was good, and I like that. I mean, we ended up getting a bit of a musical episode.
Yeah.
In part of it, but I was for it. Like there was like some feeling to it. It had a cool backstory of like the song that Alice's mom was singing on her tour. Like
the ballad.
Her fans were her coven, and the whole thing was a protection spell or whatever they said for her against this
generational curse.
Yeah, which is
pretty
like
cool.
I thought that was super cool. Like it doesn't take a whole lot to like create something really meaningful in just one episode. Like they explain so much about her backstory just in this episode. They planted seeds in a couple episodes ago about why she didn't like her mom and like all these things, but really her mom was doing all this to protect her the whole time.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just like really, I don't know, like that piece is what got to me in this episode. I was like, that
kind
is
of
awesome.
endearing.
It makes you feel good, even though like there was a sacrifice her mom was making. It felt good. Like it was a cool little bit that she was doing.
Agreed.
Yeah, I do, like you said, they are planting seeds for a lot of other characters too. So not just just her, but it's working, and it's gonna pay off in many episodes to from this point. I'm sure like they'll eventually pay off for sure. Another thing.
Got, like,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We even got a little bit of shit. I'm not remembering her name right now. The older witch. The first
Lilia.
one they run into.
Lilia.
Yes, Lilia. Yeah. Like she added a little bit of a moment again in this episode where she was like saying shit that wasn't related to anything, and they're like, "Whoa, what are you talking about?" At first, I thought it was like related to this episode, this curse or whatever, but I don't think it is. I think it's related to some of her past trauma or something.
Her psychological thing. Yeah. Honestly, they did the same thing too with the Potion Master, where they kind of explored I'm not really sure how he bound me, but I know he did. And I'm like, dude, I really like the breadcrumbs they're leaving. it feels like appropriately paced and like actual conversational stuff where it's like getting to know each other, but also informing the viewer like, hey, here's a little bit of lore about them in a natural way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there was
but
even
you were
in
saying something earlier.
I was gonna mention something I really enjoyed about one of my favorite things about the episode. But before that, I was gonna say since you're talking about Lilia, even like in episode 2, like when they were looking for like, hey, like, do you know anyone who could join the coven? She like had an out of body like experience where she was writing down the names on the note, and the light was all flickering and stuff, and she handed over the note. She didn't even know she wrote her own name on there. So she's like, she's got like a poltergeist around her, or
something's like taking the wheel.
Yeah, something is very different there. So she's like consistently losing her shit.
I think she's probably one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I do like her. She has like a very weird, like kind of spooky, haunted French Revolution, very like vibe and aesthetic that I keep getting
back.
Yeah, like I don't think it's gonna be that old, but like it's very spooky like that.
I'm excited for whenever we get her backstory with like the Italian stuff, and then that. Remember, you said you thought it was maybe Lady Death reference.
Yes.
Yeah. That'll be. I just be something super spooky about her backstory, and it's in a.
I hope it's next episode. I think
hers is like a spooky cryptic, and then the Potion Master's is like spooky, I guess, giving me like Dr. Jekyll type shit. The guy, at that one sink.
Yeah, the doctor.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that for sure, because we got little bits and pieces again in this episode. So.
Yeah, everyone has like a weird like character that's haunting them, the doctor, then Death, and then Agatha's baby. Anyways, one of my favorite parts was the practicals of the demon. I thought that thing was.
Say that too.
I thought that thing was absolutely minging. It was
grotesque, bro.
Just the long hair.
That's nasty.
Yeah, the thing was filthy. I could not believe that I was watching it like a Disney production of like how gross that thing was. I'm like, that's lovely.
When I was watching the episode, I literally vocalized. I was like, that thing's minging, and I immediately thought of you because I was like, this is definitely practical effects.
Yeah.
John is gonna eat this shit up.
Yeah, I was really happy about it. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I wanted to.
It was good.
I was hoping to get like a little bit more of a battle scene out of it or whatever, but I'm like, hey, it got lit on fire. Just seeing it is like is dope. I'm glad that I'm glad we could see it.
Out.
Yeah, it was a fucking great
CGI. It would have been like
bullshit.
Passable, but it would have been gross. Like not in like a good way gross, but like just. It would have taken you out of it.
What am I looking
like,
at? Gross.
Like
it wouldn't have been like dangerous.
Well CGI, like it always feels slightly off. Like they're getting really good, but something about it being practical. Maybe they mixed in some CGI to like touch up shit, and that's fine. That's what I think CGI is good for. But like
I agree.
Whatever they did with this was good. Like it made me like wince. I was like, oh man, they're actually showing that. Like, damn, I thought it was just gonna be invisible the whole time, but then it actually like they showed it. I was like, ooh.
I thought it was
weird harpy demon. Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be some like kind of Evil Dead stuff when the camera was just kind of like zooming all over the place. I'm like, oh cool, like this is kind of like the Doctor Strange vibe or this stuff from Evil Dead and Army of Darkness with like the evil kind of stuff.
Yeah,
how it kind of like zooms around the camera's point of view. But I'm glad that we actually got to see like a visual representation of the curse. Like, hey, that's a demon that's following her around since birth, and all of her other family members. Like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, I like that they did minimal as well, though. Like you're saying, like more of a Jaws type deal where you don't see it. It's the anticipation that really kind of builds up over time, and then they finally reveal it. Like, I mean, it's only an episode worth, but like even that was enough, because if they showed it immediately, it would have had a lot less impact because you would have seen it.
Yeah, can you imagine them just
at the beginning with everyone kind of getting burned? That suspense of like, what the hell's happening to them?
Them just walking through the house with big old nets trying to catch a demon hiding. Like, that'd be fucking ridiculous. Yeah. I'm glad they
Dean Winchester moment.
Yeah, I'm glad they went very minimal with it. That's very good. Little observation and when they showed it, it was like, cool, there it is, paid off, boom, bada bing, bada boom. Like, it's not that big of a thing. But like for her it was, and she like, I like when she was yelling at her like, play the piano like a witch, like get fucking into it, dude.
Yeah, that was nice. Like there was feeling behind all of it. Like the song had feeling. Just like once they got into it, it was like, yeah, I feel it. Let's go.
Yeah,
I mean that thing's ass.
The climax of the last 2 episodes, like including this one, fucking amazing. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
It is very good. I really like it. Like it's not like a grand finale of the season worth, but like, hey, like it's a pinnacle, and the resolution afterwards, you know, like with both episodes towards the end of it, it's really important. It's really good.
The pacing is really good throughout the episodes in the sense, like, you know, they have the obstacle of, hey, how do we make it out of here? And then afterwards, it's like, here's the fallout. And you're right, that last one of like, oh my God, we've lost one. And then that lesson kind of carried into this one. It's like, we don't want to lose another.
Yeah.
They're doing really well. And there's like 4 to 6 more episodes left, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm all for this. We're probably going to see another 2 to 3 more doors, I would speculate.
I'm hyped for it.
Because I wonder, will the teen get a door? Because is he a part of the coven technically or no?
I think now he is.
I don't know. I mean, he did get attacked by the generational curse, which, you know, was now with everyone. Because, like, what did they say? Like, they share things now that they're a coven. So
they're kind of like bonded. So Oof.
So like that's why it was attacking everyone, not just her.
Yeah.
And it attacked him as well. So
all of their burdens
theoretically.
Yeah.
Valid point.
Yep. It's Rio was like kind of hanging around the background for most of the episode, just kind of watching shit go down. Like, kind of. I was expecting for when the teen. Also, that was a very weird moment. How he was just.
They were like waiting.
Yeah, it was very weird because he's bleeding from the glass, and I'm like, he got like through that glass like 20 minutes ago. Like, what happened?
I know, right? He also was going. How did it end up in his front? Didn't he get pushed backwards into it? I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know either.
But it was also weird when they finished the song. He drops, and then they immediately cut to them outside with him on the ground or whatever. I was like, okay, that was a little bit of a weird cut. I don't know if that was intentional or they needed.
Well, there was the hole in the floor, right? The floor.
Becoming piano.
Yeah, they didn't show him. Like, I guess they didn't need to show him carrying him, but like it just felt weird. That it was
the transition wasn't like people crawling through the oven like the last one.
Yeah. So, you know, whatever there, but like it was also weird when he was lying there, and Agatha, you saw Agatha actually give a shit. Like she was like, don't like to like Rio, because I think she was like waiting to, I guess, consume him. He's young, like consume his life force or something.
Yeah, because she likes bodies and shit like that.
Yeah.
Remember, because she was like, I'll get their powers, you get their bodies. So she probably consumes their life force, like
you know what? That's probably what happened to Sharon.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why, like, you were probably right about her like consuming the life force and shit like that from Sharon.
Maybe she didn't even get summoned. She just like sensed like a tasty meal and a chance to go to the road.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh damn.
Maybe so. I feel like you guys are both
coming on
very
Rio,
right
maybe.
there. Yeah.
Huh. Very, very intriguing. I guess we'll have to wait and see some more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very solid rundown. I mean, I talked about how Agatha is quite fucking delusional, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, with everything. So that's quite accurate.
We got a lot of sexual tension between her and Rio, for sure.
I feel so awkward and uncomfortable.
I was
with
confused.
I was like, are they
direction of the week for me?
Like, are they good friends? Like, how is Agatha polling better than I am right now?
That's funny. But it's also just it is funny because there are moments where they're just like, oh, they're just all buddies, like at each other's throats or something. It's
like they hate each other, but there's that
love,
tension,
hate, a little friendship. But then there's also just like they got real close to like kissing and looking at each other's lips. I was like, that is not just friends anymore. That is definitely like they've made out in the past and probably done way more than that. So like I was
hate
like,
fucking
all right.
behind that story. Yeah, no,
like, all right, sure, okay. This is believable, but like, damn, I don't know how to feel about that.
I disagree. I don't. I feel like it's not very believable. I feel so awkward by their. It feels like her mom.
It feels out of place.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure, especially after seeing their dynamic in that very first episode. I'm like, I like that animosity between the two, and I'd rather hear that she tried to have her in her coven and there was like bad blood than like they used to scissor. I would much rather have that lore than there was like some romantic interest here and it like fell apart, because that's throwing me off. It's not believable.
The chemistry for their romance is not something that I enjoy, but thankfully it's not fucking like kind of
take it the main thing. It's there.
Exactly.
It's not the helm. Yeah. How did that actually come up in the campfire discussion with the coven?
Showing scars. I had a scar once, and it's a person. It's like Jesus Christ.
So that part, yes, I completely agree. That part was like awkward and weird,
cringe.
But like that, when they're just the two of them, it's more believable for me. When it's just them like talking to each other a little bit more, like just their like physical like acting, I guess, with how they're like interacting with each other, like looking at each other. That is more believable. But that scene, I agree. It felt off. I don't know if it was supposed to feel off, but it felt weird for sure.
It definitely wasn't the same energy as when the rest of the coven was kind of like loosening up with each other and like telling stories and sharing. I was like, this is like a really cute dynamic. You're starting to see everybody slowly trust each other more and like actually give a shit about one another. And they did a lot more than Agatha has.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see the bond growing closer and closer. They went from strangers to like, okay, we're actually like friends now.
I think Rio and Agatha are trying to purposely still be distant from the rest of them. Like they purposely shared very little and also made it awkward on purpose, I think, because they don't want to get too attached for some reason.
Oh yeah, they definitely want to use them 100%.
Because like Rio, I feel like her whole like scar thing, she was like purposely being socially awkward.
You know what?
Or something.
Didn't Agatha at the beginning of the episode say only one person made it out of the road with her?
Yeah.
I thought she meant her.
How much do you want to bet? If it's one other than her, I bet it was Rio, and that's why they have animosity.
Maybe.
That would explain the whole black heart thing, and like, because she has a curse too of some sort. She's stuck with something. She has no heart or whatever.
Maybe, but was that the question, or was it how many people made it out?
Yeah, she just said how many people made out with you. She said one with me. So that's how I took it. I could be wrong. I perceived
it was one with me as well. So I was like, you know what? That would explain that whole cringy little, I have scars, people left me. That would do it. What if she like made it through the road, everyone else died, and then that double cross happened? And that's probably why Agatha didn't invite her for the second, trip.
That and their ex-lovers, I guess.
That too. Yeah. Yeah, that's a new development. Yeah.
I mean, then again, I think she wanted weaker people specifically for the road that she could like take, and that way she,
yeah,
maybe.
I think that is what she wanted: weaker, young, like vulnerable people,
but powerful enough to get through the road.
Exactly. Yeah, somewhere in between there. I think I'm gonna give this one fucking 8. I think. Yeah, I'll give it an 8. It was an 8 for me.
Nice.
I'll give it an 8 as well. It's steady, it's enjoyable, and it leaves me wanting the next episode to be out immediately. I'm like, why isn't it out? I want to see it.
I think I gave the last one a 9, so I think I'll just give this one a 9 as well. It's on par with the last one for me. I probably enjoyed it slightly more, but I don't think it's enough to go any higher than a 9, because going above a 9 is like, you gotta really wow me. So like,
it's gotta be fucking banging.
I gotta have believable chemistry between Rio and Agatha.
Yeah. If that was a little bit better, then yeah, maybe
they are the main characters, so you'd want them to be kind of working well together and not too awkward. Which is funny, is because like her and Teen awkward, her and Rio awkward. It's awkward. like Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it is there, but
you gotta admire their consistency with that at least.
Yeah, I mean, I would be like, oh, she just doesn't want to be close to anyone, like, or have good whatever.
Right, like it's awkward on purpose, but like, man, I want to feel more comfortable between these kids.
Yeah, I want to be a little bit believable, a little bit less like that was fucking funny.
Yeah. What was I watching? I couldn't look away.
So. We'll go ahead and we'll give this one a Foundry 8.5. I feel like it's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like, drop a comment down below what you guys thought about the episode yourselves. We'll be back later this week with episode 5. We are just rolling through these reviews, getting them out on time. So you guys better be eating them up down below in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. Be sharing some more Foundry reviews. But we'll see you guys later on the next one. But until then, bye guys.
Peace. Bye.